Welcome to the Break the Stigma podcast, where each episode we focus on raising awareness and debunking the negative stigma behind mental health.
Hi guys, I'm Angel.
I'm Kianah,
and this is
to Break the Stigma podcast. We can never get that right.
Ever. We're always on different terms when we do this. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like being the therapist friend of your friend group, basically.
Yes.
And how both of us exude very prominent people-pleasing skills.
Yeah. I don't know if you call them skills, but we'll go with that.
Yeah, I think they're pretty skilled.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I agree. They're very skillful.
So, alright, we're going to start. Basically, when did you become, you think, the therapist friend of your friend group?
I think, well, as in my early teen years, I went to a lot of therapy. So I've always had that edge, and I feel like once you learn DBT and stuff from a young age, you become more skillful in just your life in general. So I always had the right things, I guess, to say.
Yeah.
Because I've been told a lot of right things. So I think it started maybe around the age 15, 16 because of all the therapy that I've gone through. How about you?
I also think it started around 15. I started therapy whenever I was 14. So as I was learning more and more skills, and people would start coming to me with advice because therapy wasn't as normalized back when we were in our early teen years. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people weren't going to therapy, but my immediate friend group knew that I went to therapy. Mm-hmm. So then at that point they would all come to me and start asking me for advice because they were like, I know you're in therapy, so what does your therapist say about this?
Yeah.
So
I don't think my friends knew that I was in therapy. They knew that I was messed up, but I don't think they knew that I was in therapy.
Oh, they knew you were messed up though.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, even I think my boyfriend, I don't think I told him that I was really in therapy until after we broke up, because that's a long story. Another day.
Do you ever feel since both of us are the therapy friends of our own outside friend groups that we
do we therapize each other?
Yeah.
I think in some ways.
Or are we the opposite of the therapy friend to each other because we're so used to being therapy friends for everyone else that we're normal friends to each other?
No, I get what you're saying. I think it's both. Sometimes it we give each other advice and that's that. Then other times it's more of okay, we can just be fucked up together.
Yeah.
Or just chill together and it doesn't have to be this other layer to it. We're just hanging out.
Yeah. And I think sometimes I'm so done with being a therapy friend that whenever I desperately need advice, I don't want to ask for it because I feel none of my friends actually know how to give advice since I'm the one always giving advice to them. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, sometimes I feel so alone with my other friends and even my siblings. They'll ask me what's wrong, and I'm I'm just sad, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because they are not equipped, and their emotional intelligence is not, it sounds like an asshole thing to say, but it's not as advanced because they didn't have to have it.
Yeah,
advanced,
exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. And I think that also with being the therapy friend all the time, the not the phrase, I guess, but how when someone's venting to you, it's do you want advice or do you want me to just listen? Mm-hmm. I feel none of my friends know that that's a thing, but I always ask it to them. So whenever I'm venting to my friends, a lot of the times I just want them to listen, but then they'll give their unsolicited advice that's not good.
Yes.
No offense to any of my friends, but it's not good. I don't want that advice at all. I just want them to listen, and they just don't because they don't know.
And then I almost feel I've had those experiences too, and I just feel worse.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I didn't need that from you. I just needed
exactly. I just needed to vent to someone.
That's actually kind of a reason why me and Hannah, one of my old friends, why we stopped being friends.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Elaborate, please.
Well, there's this one situation that happened, and I was telling her about it, and she was just giving me all this advice, and the situation was already stressful, and she was stressing me out more. I told her your reaction is not really helping. It's actually almost making me feel worse. And then she kind of went off on me.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're always selfish and you never ask about me and all this other stuff. And you knowing me, I ask my friends, like, what's going, like, I care.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just like, and anytime I did ask her about anything, she would be like, oh, nothing, it's fine. I was like, okay, I can't, like, I will believe what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. You can't read minds.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole thing of like needing someone just to listen to you and not give advice is such a big thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just don't, especially like when it comes to parents. Like I had to, like, I feel like my mom is good with it now, but there's been so many times when like she'd be like, oh, you can come to me for anything, and I would go to her like just wanting her to listen to me and not give advice, because like parent advice is a lot different than therapist advice, friend advice. There's all different hierarchies of like people and what advice you expect to get from them.
Yeah.
And although like most of parents' advice are like the logical thing to do, I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm telling you that this person is a bitch and I want to beat them up, you validate that they're a bitch and I want to beat them up.
Yeah.
Like there's no like, oh, you could go to jail. No.
Like I know this.
Yes.
Like,
You just listen to the fact that this person is an asshole and that I want to beat them up. I'm not going to, but just listen to me and validate that I have very strong hatred toward this person or any other thing that I'm saying about them.
Yeah. I have it with my mom. It's like a half and half thing. Like sometimes she'll be great and just listen to me, and then other times she'll try to be a therapist and like repeat things that like a therapist has said in passing out of context of what we're actually talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that annoys me to no end. And I feel,
Does she just take your therapist's words and use them as her own?
Yeah, like this she does almost all the time. Like I'll go to her and I'll say like, Mom, I'm sad, and she'll say, I don't like that word, let's choose another word. What else are you feeling besides sad? Is sad not enough?
Yeah,
like I don't know, like ask me why I'm sad. Don't say like, let's use other words. You're always sad. Well, yeah, I'm always sad. I'm depressed.
That's what depression is, mother.
But yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, and going off of the therapist thing, I think also with being like the therapist friend, like you know how there's different like roles in friend groups. There's like the mom friend, the therapist friend, the crazy friend. I feel like I take on every single one of those roles.
Oh my god.
Especially because I have a personality disorder.
Yeah.
So at different points in different times, I can be the really immature crazy friend. I can be the really mom friend that is the reason the entire group is put together. I can be the planning friend. I can be the therapist friend. And although it seems great, I feel like I have way too many hats on my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes I want to just combust and not be a friend at all. Like I want to just push myself away from everyone.
That makes 100% sense. A bunch of sense, because I feel the same way. Like I feel like in different situations I am like almost different people, like different versions of myself instead of myself, and it is the most frustrating thing. And then by the time that I am home, I am tired. Like I am exhausted.
Yeah.
Because I was like too many people that day.
Yeah, exactly. And even like when it comes to specifically being a therapist friend, like I mean, like you said, like I check up on everyone, but sometimes I feel like no, obviously you're canceled out of the situation. But like this sounds like really, I don't want to say it sounds selfish, but like in my mind it's selfish. Like I check up on everyone, but no one checks up on me. Like genuinely, I feel like that. And so after, like I could go. There's been times when I've like talked someone out of suicide for hours. There's been times when I've gave someone relationship advice for hours on end when I was dealing with my own shit and they had no idea. And although like it's obviously like I'm not the one telling them like that I'm going through something, like, and they wouldn't know otherwise, like it wouldn't hurt for other people to take on the role of the therapist friend for me if I need it, because I feel like whenever I need it, like I have to still be the therapist friend for them, if that makes sense.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. And like it's almost like in some ways you don't want, or like I don't want to show that I'm in pain or hurting because I don't want them to think that they can't come to me still.
Yes.
Because like it's like you're stuffing it down.
Yeah, like I'm the designated therapist in the friend group, so if I show that I have emotions, then none of my friends will feel like they can go to me because they'll feel guilty as if like they're burdening me, which I don't want them to ever feel like that. But sometimes like I won't say it out loud, but sometimes like I can't be the therapist friend because I'm dealing with my own shit, but I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want them to be like, okay, well now I'm never going to go to you for advice again.
Right. I feel like that's a hard thing with like boundary setting and like putting in that excuse me, making boundaries of like, okay, I will talk to you, but maybe X amount of time because I am going through something and I can't, do this all the way. Or like, we can talk, but maybe tomorrow because today's not a good day or something like that. It's hard because you're worried about like what the other person's gonna think or say, and you don't want them to be sad or hate you or all those things.
Yeah.
I, interpersonal effectiveness, back to DBT, that is my least favorite because I am just horrible at it.
Yeah, I can't set boundaries.
I can't set boundaries. Sometimes I can't say no. A lot. Nah, actually no. I'm pretty good at saying no. I say no a lot because I cancel plans. So that's a lie.
I can't say no whatsoever when it comes to any situation. Even like I was telling my boyfriend a few times that like I'm really bad at setting boundaries. So whenever I try and set a boundary, I'm really bad at it, and it comes out like I'm being an asshole. Like, you cannot do this. Like, comes out as I'm being an asshole because I genuinely don't know how to like properly and healthfully set an actual boundary.
Yeah, it's one of those scary things that I guess will take practice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like, somehow I feel like they're just like naturally good at it, but I think a lot of other people like me and you were just not good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I guess that goes with like the people pleasing too. What do you know like when that started?
For me, I feel like I've been a people pleaser ever since I was just like little. Like I've had a lying problem since I was a little kid, and my mom always thought that I was just lying to be like bad and obnoxious and like just being like a bad kid, like lying to get out of things and get out of trouble and things like that. But really, I would just lie because I wanted to make everyone else happy. Like I would lie about, like if my mom asked me if I did the dishes, I would lie and say yes because I wanted her to be happy that I did the dishes versus be mad at me that I didn't, even though in her mind I was like just lying because I didn't want to get in trouble type thing. So it's been definitely since ever I was a little kid, like when it came to teachers, like if they asked me if I did my homework, I would say yes because I wanted them to be proud of me that I did my homework versus being disappointed that I didn't. Like any little thing I would lie about. But yeah, like ever since I was a little kid, I just always lied in order to please everyone else, but everyone took it as me being a bad kid. So I think that's why I grew up having issues.
Issues, period.
Period.
Nothing
issues
else
with anything.
Yeah.
Period.
I really thought there's gonna be more to that.
No.
Okay.
Not you.
Me, I don't think I was that. Yeah, I think after my parents got separated the first time when I was around 10, everything was chaotic and it didn't feel like there was a lot of good in my house. So I just wanted to make sure that everything and everyone was okay, especially like my mom. So I think that's where that started, and it just started off with like making sure everything was clean and doing chores and all that stuff. But now it's to the point where I want to make sure that everyone is satisfied by me in all aspects. Like I don't want anyone to be like, oh, I don't like Kianah, or like Kianah's a bad person.
Yeah, it scares the shit out of me that there could be people out there that don't like me. Like, because I don't want to say like I never give people a reason to not like me, but like I feel like with everyone I meet, I am genuinely the best version of myself that I can be. And I feel like there's no reason that you shouldn't like me. Like it stresses me out that someone would not like me because like what did I do to you?
Yeah. I know like rationally that people don't sometimes like people's personalities, they don't vibe. No one is meant to like everyone. But exactly. For me, I'm like, if I know that someone doesn't like me, then wow, like I must be like the worst person ever. Even though I can have like all these people like me, this one person, I'm like, oh my god, I'm horrible.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I'm allowed to not like people, but the second like I think someone doesn't like me, it's the end of the world.
Yeah, even that, I'm like, I am not allowed to not like someone unless they are like horrible. Like if they can slightly annoy me, but I can't like not like them because then I'm a bad person.
Oh no,
it's internal stuff too because they won't know because I treat everyone like
Yeah.
like we're best friends when I first meet them.
There's a lot of people that I don't like, and they like know it, but like the second someone like just minimally implies that they don't like me, I want to have a breakdown because it just stresses me out to no end. Like, because what did I do? Like, people give me valid reasons to not like them, but I feel like I don't give anyone valid reasons to not like me because I try my best to be nice to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why the fuck?
I think even that, like, some people just don't like when people are too nice.
Yeah.
And I know that I've had experiences like in res mostly. Like I am a nice, smiley person.
Yeah.
And sometimes like when you're going through stuff, people you don't want to see someone smiling all the time.
Exactly. I actually had an experience in res with one of the girls that was in there. Her name's Katie, and shout out Katie if you're watching this. But every single morning, we had to get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning for vitals and shit, or like 6 o'clock for vitals, and then come upstairs. And every single time I come up the stairs, she'd be like, "Good morning, Angel," and I wanted to rip her head off. So I was like, there is no reason, one, that you should be happy this damn early in the morning, and two, that you should be happy at all with the circumstances that we're in right now. Like, we are in a residential home, and we're being forced to eat food with having eating disorders. Like, why are you happy right now? So yeah. I definitely think seeing other people happy when you're not makes you mad.
Not me.
Makes me mad.
Yeah. I can't not like people.
Even if they do you so horribly.
Then, like, back to the situation with Hannah, I wasn't mad at her. I was mad at myself for, like, being, like, I internalized everything she said to me, and then I was like, I felt like I was the worst person ever.
So who was the one that broke off the friendship? You or her?
Her.
Oh.
Yeah. Of course her.
Yeah.
Because I was grasping at like a relationship that was dead basically. So like it took me months to be like neutral on her.
Yeah.
Like I still to this day won't say that I don't like her. But right now I'm at a neutral thing. But yeah, I can't not like people. Sarah I don't like.
Yeah, I also don't like her because she doesn't like me for no reason, so I don't like her. So with that being said, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more about people pleasing and how you can get out of the habit of constantly being the therapist friend for everyone. And so yeah, see you after the break.
See ya.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah.
So over the break, we talked about what we're going to discuss in the last half of the episode. And we decided that we're going to revert back to our DBT episode a little bit and talk about one of my personal favorite skills called Dear Man, specifically the FAST portion, which is all about setting boundaries. So Kianah, do you want to describe what FAST is and what it stands for?
Okay, so FAST is a DBT skill that goes with Dear Man, and it's about maintaining self-respect in a relationship. So it's an acronym, so FAST, F is for fair, be fair to others and yourself. A is apologies, only apologize when it's needed, stick to values, be true to yourself and what you believe in, and truthful, avoid lying, acting helpless, or exaggerations. So it's basically about just when you have a conflict, or someone like asks you to do things and you don't really want to. And you feel obligated because of like that people pleasing aspect of your life. Use FAST along with Dear Man to be able to say no
and set boundaries.
Yes. There's also one with Give. You can use Dear Man with Give and FAST, but Give is an acronym more for not maintaining self-respect.
Maintaining a relationship.
Yes, maintaining the relationship. And that is be gentle, act interested, validate, in easy manner. This I think is more about when your self-respect is still important, but you also want to maintain
keep being friends with them.
Yeah. So I think this can be tweaked a little bit so you can incorporate both fast and give.
So off of being the therapy friend, basically, if it's getting to the point where you think it's like completely unhealthy and you're putting all of their needs before your own, I think that using fast would be the ideal way of like setting that boundary, because you want to maintain that respect for yourself, but you also don't want to like hurt their feelings. So like Kianah was saying, like maintaining your own self-respect and setting boundaries for yourself rather than setting boundaries for the relationship, because basically you use fast when you want to healthily and civilly end the friendship or relationship in general, and give is more so if it's like not to the point of being that bad, but you still want to set the boundary in place so that it doesn't go to the point of needing to end the relationship completely.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it in DBT form, Dear Man, like what it stands for.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you guys an update just in case.
Okay.
It's
describe, express, ask, reinforce, mindfully assert, and negotiate.
Yes.
Thank you.
She wins. I did not memorize Dear Man.
Dear Man is my favorite skill. I had to. But do you think? Let's talk about, has there ever been a situation where you have had, I know you said that it's hard for you to like be the person to cut off friendships, but do you think that there's ever been a friendship that you've had that has gotten so unhealthy that you have had to use the fast skills and cut it off?
Well, I don't know if it was before really that I was into or like got into DBT, but I remember my freshman year of high school, I had been friends with this one girl since like third or fourth grade, and another girl we met because they're stepsisters. So when they, became stepsisters, I met and we instantly became best friends. They were not the one girl, but the other Gabby. She was toxic, like just for me and my mental health and growing up. She was just not a really good friend, and I didn't really see that. I just thought this is how friendship was because she was my first like best friend, and she at that point in my freshman year was the longest friendship that I ever had. But I just remember one day, and it wasn't even me. They were her and the other the two girls and like other friends we were sitting at lunch, and they were just like dragging this one girl, calling her ugly and fat and slut and all this stuff. And I am not really big on I'm not big on bullying. Yeah, but I'm just not a fan of like tearing people down for the sake of conversation.
Yeah.
So I think that was when I realized like nope, we can't be friends anymore because I'm already sad, like I'm already depressed. I can't just be around that negativity. So I think that's when I really stood up for myself and my beliefs. And it's crazy that it took for them talking about this random person I don't even know for our friendship to end, for me to end the friendship instead of like when they were rude to me.
Yeah.
Like I remember these two people are white girls. The one girl, she was like, Kianah, I'm blacker than you. Because I, of how I speak and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I internalized that, and I, for the longest time, I guess this could be another topic, but I like hated being black because of like that and other things that people would make fun of me for. So yeah, but that is the moral of the story. It took someone else's pain.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if they knew that she was talking about her, but.
Yeah, for me, actually, it was being the therapist friend in my last relationship, so with my ex-boyfriend. And
I've never heard about this ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, because he was a lot.
Okay.
So basically, in that relationship, like I would always be the one to help him. Like if he was ever upset about something, I would always be the one to stop everything I was doing, drop all my shit to help him and calm him down and be like his therapist basically. Mm-hmm. And whenever it came to me being upset, he was either like smoking and too high to help, or he was busy out cheating on me, or he was doing other bullshit stuff and would never like take the time to help me. So our relationship wasn't equal. It was me giving more effort into the relationship than he was. And so I think that was at the point when I realized like, this is unhealthy, I need to cut this off. And that's when I was able to finally break it off with him. But I was definitely always putting his own mental health before my own, and it got to the point where I went into a really dark place because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was taking care of him.
Yeah, that's so big. I'm glad you did you. Boo.
Thank you.
Well, we're gonna end.
We're gonna end the episode a little bit early, guys, because we want to have a manic trip to the mall. I do. Kianah doesn't, but I'm forcing her. But yeah, guys, we're gonna cut it off there. Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo doo doo. So we're gonna end it there, and I want to also end this episode by saying happy birthday, Kianah. Her birthday is tomorrow. By the time you guys see this, she will already be 21 years old, the age of drinketh.
Yes, I'm getting lit tomorrow.
R.I.P. that
Liver A.
Well, goodbye, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.